Houston, Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
I take 1 week off. 1 week off and I can't get it right. Good evening, folks. Welcome to Alien Addict on this fine and delicious sexually charged evening. And it is sexually charged because I've got some testosterone in the house tonight. Also, I've been called a cutie. Thank you, Lisa. So lovely. That first super chat of the night. You look cute yourself. I appreciate that. It's made my night already. The love. I did miss you all last week, but strep throat. I think strep throat. And I've still not got rid of it completely. But without further ado, let's bring on my three lovely men tonight. And there's possibly going to be another one. But Lee is engaged tonight. He's got some plans, but might be able to make it. Hidden Underbelly.
Yeah, me first.
My lad. I've just realised you are wearing a skeleton costume. I love it. How you doing, mate?
I'm all right. I hope you get better, man. Hope you can make it through the show.
I'll be able to make you through the show. I've got some alcohol, so it's fine. I'll get me through it. BlackStar Paranormal. How you doing, mate? You got the old throat as well.
Yeah, we got to stop making out like that.
Isn't it weird? We live so far away.
Well, we send spit in vials. Like that's what all the cool kids are doing, right?
Well, I don't normally open yours.
You should. It's not just spit.
Uh-oh.
Anyway, the third bit of testosterone, the biggest testosterone in all of ufology. They thought they could break us apart, but they didn't. Rich Giordano.
How you guys doing? My throat too. So, I'm just kidding. Hey man, it's been like 6 weeks since I've been on this shindig.
It's been a while. People thought we'd fallen out.
We did. But we found each other, and halfway down that fall, and we grabbed each other and said, we can't fall, we can't hit the ground. And then you said, I got an idea. And I said, what? Let's make a pact. And we did.
We did.
I didn't want to tell.
We never fell out. We never fell out.
No, we never did. We
just had a disagreement over something, which is fine.
That's all.
It's fine for men to do that.
Mm-hmm. It refreshes the relationship.
It does. God, I'm warm. I'm getting hot tonight.
And by the way, Hidden Underbelly is not wearing a skeleton costume. That's actually him.
I've lost a lot of weight. How you doing, Rich, man?
I'm doing good. How are you? David?
Rock on, man. It's too bad you guys didn't get in a fight, man. Make-up love is the best love.
Yeah, we missed out on the makeup sex.
Yeah. Sometimes it's worth picking a fight just to make up.
He's not my type. He's not got a red beard.
Is that why my ex-wife used to fight with me all the time? To halves?
I don't know. Women are crazy. I can't speak for that species.
Anyway,
comment. Cooking your dinner.
Yeah.
Speaking of crazy stuff, so tonight's show, aliens. Does anyone have evidence? Now, I really have been searching for this to find any sort of evidence, and the only person that actually claims to have the evidence of aliens is somebody we spoke about a few times. Is Dr. Reed. Now, I have asked you to send Dr. J.
He can't make it. He's at the doctor's and it's raining, and he lives in LA, so it's bad today.
I did want to speak to Dr. J because I feel like Dr. Reed has is groomed the right word?
Yeah, he groomed himself maybe.
I feel like he's been groomed a little bit.
A little bit.
By Dr. Reed, because I did. There was something that
I thought you meant Dr. Reed, not Dr. J.
Oh,
And they're both not doctors. That's weird, isn't it?
I think not. I thought Dr. J was a doctor.
Oh, yeah. Dr. J did go to school. That's right. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He did. Yeah. I apologize, Dr. J. I know he's listening.
So you should.
As I was told by somebody, you should use the word allegedly.
Allegedly.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, that is very true. Let me just bring something up here. I should have had this ready, but I thought it was ready.
Well, you're ill. You were ill. So.
I was ill, yeah. You know, these things happen, and it's not an excuse for dead air. Nobody likes dead air, Rich. So somebody please keep talking as I bring this up. So, there we go. Got it.
So you kept talking. That was good.
Yeah.
Perfect. And your beard looks really good, by the way. It grew in nicely.
Thank you, Rich.
Well, I haven't seen you. So.
Here we go. So, if you notice that 2 months ago, I don't know if you remember this, and this was something that was made kind of a big deal about, that Dr. Reed met the Pope. Now, that being so small, I don't know if anybody can see that, because I can't find the original of this anywhere other than what was sent to Dr. J. But I took this into Photoshop. I'm going to show you something. So, Dr. J, I hope you're watching. I definitely want to get Dr. Reed on because if he can convince me, he could convince my wife to bring her best friend home. Check this out. So,
oh dear.
So, I've put this into Photoshop, and he left so many mistakes in that Photoshop version of him and the Pope, which is ridiculous.
It looks like the Pope on the right has the same chin.
He may have done that on purpose as a little Easter egg.
Unless Dr. Reed has a thyroid issue.
What if he really looks like that?
Right.
What I don't get is, I don't get how Dr. Reed has got such light hair, but his mustache is so dark.
Testosterone.
Just for men.
He's oozing testosterone. That's what does that.
You boys can see that, can't you? You see the turtleneck t-shirt thing?
Terrible.
Where he's blurred out. He's tried to blur out the other guy. You can still see the other guy's collar.
Yeah.
Now
those YouTube tutorials on Photoshop aren't really great. I mean, you gotta have practice. We can't fault him on this. I'm sure he'll have better work in the future. I mean, let's not judge him by this outing.
Well, this was the original photoshopped video, but I made a mistake and put the alien's tooth in front when it should have been in the background, so I couldn't use it. So anybody can make anybody can make a Photoshop mistake. That's all I'm saying. So I don't blame you, Dr. Reed, but you need to improve your skills. You know,
Ollie, you have one pointed at the chin of Dr. Reed. Can you explain why?
The chin.
Yeah. What's wrong with the chin? Is it the chin or the mustache? What are we looking at here?
It's the mustache. It's around the lip. You see how it goes over the frame, that little piece of white that is hidden.
Oh, yeah.
He's not taken that out. Again, if you look at the top one there, you see how that bit of blue underneath the cross goes straight across and over the frame. That's part of the background image that he's not deleted. And also above his hair, there's also that same piece of background image that he's not deleted out. So yeah, he's not photoshopped this properly.
Well, give him some time, practice. He'll get there.
I'm sure he will.
Constructive criticism is what we need to bring to the table.
You have to ask the question: why would the Pope want to meet him? Because why? Because
why would the Pope Photoshop him in like that? That seems weird.
Didn't the Pope say
the Catholic Church put out a statement on this? Or
yeah.
Well,
Dr. Reed should too.
Didn't the Pope say that if any aliens turn up, he would happily baptize them?
I thought he was going to give him some of that communion wine and a little time in the back shed.
and ask them where the youngins are.
So a lot of people, well, some people said that third phase of Moon, that you, Rich, and the whole team will end up doing a story on this. You already did a story on it 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And you said the guy was full of shit in so many words.
Yeah.
So and I found that today. So for anybody that said that this was that third phase, I will stick up for third phase here because I've watched the full video. They did do an analysis on this guy, and there seemed to be only one of your guys that tend to believe Dr. Reed. I just don't get how anybody can believe the guy. But you heard about the bullet wound?
No, I'm not sure.
So before I bring the bullet wound up, Dave, I introduced you to Dr. J tonight, but you'd seen him before. But that's not his real name.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, that is not his real name.
Jonathan Reed isn't?
No.
Okay.
Or doctor.
Yeah.
His other
Allegedly.
name is not a doctor.
No, allegedly.
The other name that this man may be using is definitely not a doctor. But, whatever.
But he may have a similar first name.
No, it's the same first name, yeah.
But yeah, so he's using a different name. He's not a doctor. He's trying to get back into the field of ufology. I don't know what his game is, but I did want to get Dr. J in because he's supporting it, which is fair enough. That if Dr. J believes this guy, Dr. J, I don't know if you know Photoshop, but ask somebody else that knows Photoshop and send them that picture. They'll probably do a better job than the few minutes that I did that for. But this guy he's a phony. He's 100% a phony.
Well, he made himself disappear in front of a studio audience. So that had to account for some sort of reality, right?
So Joe K took the photo. It's legit.
Yeah, okay.
I feel like everybody knows the Pope. Weird.
It's easy to see the Pope.
So there's stuff that's this. The one thing I will say about this guy, his stuff's hard to find on YouTube. It's whether it's been taken down, like he's done it himself, but there's stuff that it's not easy to find. Like, so Rich, the bullet wound, do you know about the bullet wound?
I really don't.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring it up now for you guys to see.
I'm surprised I don't if it's
Just so I don't know.
a big part of the story here.
Yeah,
I feel like we're doing disservice by calling it a bullet wound.
Oh yeah, I've forgotten. I already showed you this, Dave.
Yeah.
What is it? It's really a bullet wound?
No.
All right. So Jonathan Reed called it a bullet wound. Is that what he did?
Somebody using that name, yeah.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Oh no, he definitely said it was a bullet wound.
True.
Yeah.
I'm part of the legal team here.
All
So
right.
I'll shout out allegedly every now and again.
So
My lawyer's in Boston right now.
you can tell it's
This
Dr.
weekend.
Reed as well because of his neck. It's similar. And his nipples.
Look at that mustache. It's the testosterone.
Oh, that's a porn stash, yeah.
Porn stash.
So this is the guy's bullet
That
wound.
looks like mold.
Yeah, the mold. I thought you were going to say mole.
Well, no, there is a climax to this.
It's
Oh.
2 inches. But my ruler says 7 inches because it has to. Okay, we get it, John. Got it. It looks like he dropped an iron on him or something. Oh.
Dave, I
What?
hope you don't mind me saying this. You know a little bit about guns. What
That's
gun
not
would you?
A gun wouldn't do that. It's not a
That looks
bullet
like a slab of spam.
Yeah.
That's not a bullet wound. Yeah, I mean, if that is on his person, it's like a seeping wound of some kind. Because if that was a bullet wound, he wouldn't be so friendly with it.
You
And
know who? Oh, go ahead. No.
I was to say, he also says that it fragmented in 3 places and ripped through. Like, that's part of his thing. So that means it was a hollow point, not a full metal jack. And if it's a hollow point ripping through like that, there's going to be a hell of a lot more soft tissue damage. I mean, it's that whole back part's going to be gone. And if it is a full metal jacket, it's just going to go right through. So none of that makes sense.
And I was going to say, I want Third Phase of Moon to see this because they are, they're making their new Slaughter Day movie and they work with special effects and chopping legs off in real time. I want to see what they think was used to make that look like that way. Did they use ham or spam? I want to know how that could be made to look like that. He would have had to have an accomplice, obviously.
What, somebody filming it?
Well, also making the wound.
I think he would have to have a team.
Yeah, how's he going to do that? Patting his back.
Or he had a lot of time. But he'd have to have somebody to help him, definitely.
Actually, that is within arm's reach.
That's to do that? No, he didn't need any help.
Yeah.
No, he just scratched his neck. Like that's, and he's filming it with a 1998 potato. So
probably on purpose.
Yeah, I mean, a bullet wound on the front just looks like a hole. If that's a bullet wound, then it's keyholing out of a handgun of some kind. Or, I mean, there's things, but the exit wound doesn't make sense.
Who shot him?
It looks like he either has a mole, or he tried to remove a mole, or he put some jelly on his back and it dried a little bit.
Now, can I ask you a question, BlackStar? At the front of him. Now, could that be gunpowder burn?
Glorious. No. No, it wouldn't be from a contact shot either. Contact shot, putting out the gas from a 9mm like that up close. It's gonna be like a 1.5 times with like a woman's softball used in league. It's going into the cavity.
So there would be no muscle burn on his flesh, though.
Oh yeah, no, you would see powder burn. Yeah, but powder burn doesn't look like a fingerprint, and his front of his chest looks like a fingerprint.
It looks like
just a mole.
Would it take the shape of the barrel then? So it would be more.
It depends on the barrel, break, powder, round, caliber. All
that's my next question. That's my next question. Did he ever mention what did he mention what? Yes.
Yeah. So unless he's in the nude, you know what I mean.
Or he could. Which
is very, very possible. I don't know what he does in his.
That's it. That's what I'm saying. Or it could be a hot day. Most people on a hot day will, and that. Look, I don't know, but did he ever mention what kind of gun he did get shot with, or was he vague? He just said, "Look, they fired. Everything happened so quick."
I think he just said he got shot.
He said it was a 9mm caliber round, but I didn't find anything he said about a gun.
Who shot him?
I have no idea.
Them. One of
the aliens. The aliens pack Glocks now, and everybody knows this, Rich.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Okay.
I mean, for me, you could do that yourself. You could get a I mean, if you got the professional stuff, you could just use the proper silicone stuff that they put on, or you could use. Anybody can do this. If do you guys call it PVA glue in the States? The kids put on that white glue that kids use.
Yeah, we call it Elmer's glue.
Right, so we call it PVA glue.
Not the glue you smell, right?
Yeah.
What
if the glue you smell? I eat the white glue. You
and
smell
you could
the clear
eat it
glue,
too,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that sort of glue. I don't know why I'm doing it on my shoulder, but if you paint underneath the glue, so you paint the skin first, then you put the glue on top, and then you just add a little bit of powder makeup over that, you get a slight shine in the areas that you'd want to get, but you'd get the detail underneath that you wanted, because it's the glue that, and then you just get a hairdryer on the glue, and you meant to make it bubble like that. You might want to. So you see that bit where it looks like there's a crater, not the bit where it looks like the exit hole, but the bit of skin that's got the
It's missing. Like
this bit here. Can you see my mouse?
there. Okay.
No, that's white skin. It looks like a mole. It looks like a mole he's been scratching or picking at. And the one on the front looks like one of those moles kids get. And as you get older, it stretches out like a fingerprint as your skin stretches. I could easily believe that, or like a mark. But that, if that's a real wound on him, and I'm not saying it isn't, but if it is, he's been picking at it, because it looks like if you've ever seen a boil or something, or a blister that kind of pops and seeps,
Yeah.
or this cupping. If you've seen someone get extreme cupping and it goes too far.
Yeah, I've been cupped.
Why
you have?
Why is he saying there would be pieces of fragments of bullets don't break apart when they hit you?
Well, so wait. Technically, that's not true. I do own rounds that are compressed nickel powder within a very thin copper shell. They're 85 grains. They are 9mm. They move at like 1,400 feet per second. And when they hit soft flesh, they vaporize on the inside.
No way.
They do break apart. Oh, yeah. They're fucking great. I got other ones that aren't. No, I'm not going to. Anyway. But that technology was not in 1996, 98.
Oh,
it's just this is a very new technology. And even then, if he got hit with one of those, the top of his shoulder is gone. That trap, gone. There's nothing there. That thing will rip it off, and he would be in surgery for. He would have many, many surgeries because of the way the powder breaks up and it just tears through the cavity of the body. Like the collarbone wouldn't keep that out.
Oof. I mean, that YouTube video, I will say, is 9 years old.
9?
It's 9 years old. It's an old YouTube video that I'll send you it, Rich.
Okay, thank you.
But yeah, it's there is more. I also found a stand-up of Dr. Reed, which it's brilliant. It really is quite amazing. So let me bring this back up for you people.
Uh-oh.
Have you ever seen this?
I don't think so, but I heard about it.
I know that all of you want to go eat, and I don't blame you.
God, I love that mustache.
But I want to say one thing, and I'm not here.
I honestly think he's talking to nobody.
No.
To lecture.
Really?
Or convince.
Listen to listen to the claps.
You might be right.
It does sound like a trap.
I know that all of you want to go eat, and I don't blame you. But I want to say one thing, and I'm not here to lecture or convince or preach to anyone. I'm simply here to say we live in a world of reality and non-reality. We need to learn to decipher between the two.
I'm alive and I'm
need
dead.
To learn that there is much more going on than what some people want us to believe.
See, he's got a PhD.
I have lived this experience, verily. And I continue because I have an obligation to the people that have helped me along the way, because I have nothing else.
This is the best stand-up comedy ever.
You have an obligation to listen.
Here's the jokes.
With an open mind. And that's all I've ever asked.
Oh, they're coming.
There are many more people in the world than me who have had much more exciting experiences than mine. Why don't we hear about them? Because somebody is out to take that option away from all of us. That is part of the danger in all of our lives.
I just realized some poor sucker is filming this. You know that, right?
It's
you
the
saw
repression.
He at least talked to one person
to
to
choose for yourself.
And yet we do it willingly.
Say that again, Dave.
He has somehow gotten one poor sucker to film this for him. You saw the camera shift, right? I hope that guy got paid, but we're doing it for free. What does it say? About us?
We do get another angle in a minute.
In coming here,
That's
I did not expect to be able to speak. because a lot of people have still continued to deny me that reality. I have learned that not everyone is your friend,
Allegedly.
even within each system, even within each organization. But slowly, with the help of very supportive friends and people who are honest, if you look hard enough, you will see the truth.
Where's the palm trees?
But you have to look hard.
Oh shit!
There is, when I parked an hour ago in your parking lot out here.
And
Wait a
there's a
minute.
desk there. There's a desk there, and there's a lamp there. Let's see that view again.
I don't think anybody's there.
Supportive friends,
Get the palm tree.
people who are honest.
God, I hope not. It makes it all the better.
If you look
Yeah.
hard enough,
How
you will
crazy do
see
you have
the
to be to
truth.
pretend to talk to a crowd of people in
But
an
you
empty
have to
room?
look hard.
Ask TTSA. They did it.
What
There you go.
I reckon there's a cut here because somebody
Amazing.
walked in and
I
said,
know.
who are you talking? Somebody walked in and said, what's going on here? Like he just walked into somebody's random office, stood next to a palm tree with his video camera. And somebody
Started
went,
filming.
do you mind moving on, sir?
With the help of very supportive friends and people who are honest, if you look hard enough, you will see the truth. But you have to look hard. There is, when I parked an hour ago in your parking lot out here, there are 2 vans with U.S. government exempt license plates on them.
He almost said
Are they our
UFO.
friends?
He did.
Or are they just gambling?
He was jumping ahead in his speech. There's that laugh track.
Yep.
But I do know one thing. There's headlights broken on both of them, so they need to get that fixed.
I'll take
So
things that
he-
didn't happen for 500, Alex.
So the joke is he broke the headlights, or
It's all the testosterone in that mustache.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Oh
Fucking
man,
fabulous.
he
No.
definitely
I'm almost
dies
convinced.
that.
I'm almost convinced.
Nah, for him, man, we got to call it the porn stash. I like
Yeah.
that.
It
That is definitely.
I don't know that man's ever experienced the love of another human being.
Oh
Definitely from the aliens.
no.
Oh yeah, that's a given. That's it. We all know that. That's given. That's why they're here. Is that man's mustache? Mustache Rise, Intergalactic. Yeah, it's his
When he
website.
goes
Somebody,
to-
somebody should get that.com. Mustache Rides Intergalactic.
There it is.
It's a Jupiter-sized stash.
Mhm.
Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for the 99 pence. I appreciate that. He's looking at you, Rich. He's looking at you.
Am I looking at him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Touch his nose. You
Reach
can.
out.
Okay. Touch it.
Oh, it's way over there.
Touch it. Touch it. There you go. That's it.
Oh, you gotta.
I'm sorry. I needed to not do so many Jonathan Reeds. I am going to make him a thing because I'm going to put I'm going to release this PNG file, and what I want people to do is on Twitter is put Dr. Reed in as many different locations as possible, like with the Queen, with Superman, with Batman, with Arnold Schwarzenegger. Just as
That's
I will,
ace.
I'll release a full PNG for you guys, and we can get Dr. Reed traveling around like this. Or if you can get inspiration from Reed himself and do a better job than that.
Somebody do it with ET, man. With the finger.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, this guy, he's 100%
Honest, legitimate, trustworthy.
Yes,
That's what I thought.
wholesome.
Allegedly.
He should run for politics. He lives in
Yes.
Washington State. He's way more honest than any of our politicians here currently.
So let's just say he's lying. Okay. Let's just we're not going to say that, but let's imagine that Jonathan Reed is making all this up. What reason would he have to do that?
Intergalactic mustache rides. How
Is
else
it-
is
I mean-
anyone going to find out about it?
He's
Think
way
of the
too.
merchandise we could get on that, right?
Just his
It's got
mustache.
it.
Plushies,
It's a good tagline.
plushies, razor, shampoo, lip
Porn
balm,
stash. Porn stash. I'm
2-for-1
gonna do
lip
them.
balm.
I'm throwing them out, man. You can buy the t-shirts as of Monday from my channel.
It's the porn stash universe.
Porn stash. That's
I
what
mean,
it is.
Yeah.
I will say this. He's got like literally he disappeared for years and then he came back.
I hear mental hospitals don't let you reach to the outside world. They want to
Allegedly.
back. Yeah. Well, I hear. I don't know. I've always been able to avoid capture.
I watched him live on Dr. J's show, and I mean I don't care. I'll just say I think the guy's full of shit.
Oh no, he definitely is. Yeah, 100%, man.
But he said something that, and I will speak to you about this, Rich. So he met Art Bell, yeah. And
Is that a real picture?
well, I'll be honest with you. I will be honest with you. I did put that into Photoshop as well. I think
That looks a bit touched up as well.
Yeah.
It does, but he's been interviewed. He's definitely been interviewed by Art Bell. I think that's how Dr. J knows him.
I think
But
so.
Dr. Reed said on Dr. J's show, which I just thought was a little bit. You can be a bullshitter, but don't bullshit about the dead, because he said he spoke about Art Bell passing away very sudden, and he constantly name drops. Well, he usually doesn't drop any names. He just says like my mate Gary, he died because of me. My friends died because of me, and he made out on that show that something happened to Art because of him. And I just think that's just a bit shitty, if I'm honest, for this guy to do that. So, I mean, it's one thing bullshitting about and trying to get a book out, which there's a lot of people in this field that do that. They'll come up with some crazy story, some so-called evidence, maybe a cave or two, and a couple of Waynes.
Where's Wayne?
But to turn around and say that one of the legends in the field died probably because of me, I think is just a bit of a dick thing to say. And he said that on Dr. J's last interview.
Did he?
Yeah. So I just thought that was a bit shit. So I did want to ask Dr. J about that, because it looked to me like, I mean, Dr. J didn't, to be fair, Doc, you didn't correct him on that. You said that you spoke to it. You said you did say I spoke to him the day he died and he sounded okay on the phone. But I mean, I just think this guy has brainwashed Dr. J. And I think he needs to know who this guy is, because the guy is a bit of a prick, I think. And Dr. Reed, I will gladly have you on the show if you, even though I called you a prick. But I won't hold anything back, because I think all these things that you're saying, I do not think you can back up, because all the stuff that you've done, I could go out and do. That UFO in the woods that you did, I could make that. That alien that you made, I could make that. I believe that the guy has some talent when it comes to creating stuff. And for that, I take my hat off. I'm not wearing one. But and I when people do hoaxes in this field, I actually sometimes look at it and think, wow, that's pretty cool. You fake that, but it's pretty cool. And in some ways, I think, you know what? I'm not mad, because that's just great. That's quite a cool thing to look at. But don't lie about like a legend of the field that's passed away. That's a bit below the belt. So that's all I wanted to say on that. But yeah, this guy is going to take people for a ride. He is back on the scene, and he's, believe you me, every single thing that this guy says is bullshit.
Well, me and you was talking about just a contradiction in the story, because when me and you covered it over,
it was a month or so ago.
Yeah,
on your channel.
When we covered it, he said that
you were.
The alien,
I mean, be honest, Hidden. You're on the fence. You were on the fence.
Look, I'm not on the fence.
That night you were.
Well, that night, I didn't see the bracelet. Do you remember rightly?
Oh yeah, the bracelet. So the bracelet is where all you guys that were on the third phase of Moon UFO report. That's where you said it fell apart, and I think that is definitely where he went too far, with it, and it's
see the beginning of the story, because just to dive in, if there's people that don't know about it, you have to talk about, like, you know, when he was out there walking the dog, what happened to the dog, what happened out there, what happened to the alien burrito. But the two contradictions that me and you come across just backstage was on when we covered it. Yeah, it was what happened to the alien body. Now he said that it disappeared, and he's still in contact with the alien now.
Yeah.
But when third phase, yeah,
that's because that was 2 years ago, and I think the recent, I think he could have changed the story a little bit but there's a lot of his videos and are hard to find on YouTube now, and I think it's just the way YouTube is, not because the guy is talking sense. But so I don't blame anybody that may not know that information, that the alien came back alive out of the fridge and then became his best friend, even though he had torn his dog into pieces. I don't blame that.
And don't forget, he beat him upside the head. He beat the alien upside the head because that big old gash in his head.
Freddie,
what is this story exactly? How did this get told? I genuinely I don't know. Other than you send that message and I looked up information on him.
I wanted you on with the gun wound, definitely, Dave, but the story is he went. You probably tell it best, Rich. You're the story guy.
Jonathan Reed's story.
Yeah, you know, the woods, the dog.
Yeah, I mean, you guys already know it. I mean,
the log, the bracelet. I'm going to bring the bracelet up in a minute.
The guy apparently was out walking his dog, right? And then the dog was barking and then he walked upon the alien and the craft that was supposedly hovering there, and got in a fight, an argument with the alien because it killed his dog, and then he shot the alien at close range, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah.
From what I remember.
That's pretty much what happened.
And then he took it, put it in the freezer, and then he took it out and it looked like paper mache. Then the eyes moved.
Oh man,
it looked real. Fake.
I haven't seen it.
No way. You never. Oh, I thought you saw
I don't know, dude. So Ollie sent me the guy's name. I Googled him, and then I sent it to a friend, and then he sent back, he's like, dude, this is the guy's real name. And I was like, what? And then beyond that, I didn't care anymore. I was like,
oh, Dave, I'm sorry. I thought you knew.
No.
Dave knows about gunshot wounds.
Yeah, I know about gunshot wounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh, and sorry for eating earlier. I thought I turned my camera off.
Well, the alien also ripped the dog in half, but also disintegrated it.
Yeah.
That's overkill.
Well, I'll tell you what, we'll play it for the audience. So some of the audience may not even know why I keep putting this guy's face on the screen.
I thought it was that amazing mustache. Phenomenal.
See, it's a story. It's a story of two halves.
Oh, he hit the
So-
alien with the branch.
As well, Dave, listen to the dramatic breathing.
There's the alien.
Stupid. Nobody acts like that. That's how you know he's never taken an acting class.
Yeah, man, that's good. Good.
He's the worst actor.
You could just phone somebody up and play that audio.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, this is kind of inappropriate if you're just like listening to this on a podcast. No visual context. He's looking at an alleged alien body on the ground. That way people
Allegedly.
know. Yeah. Don't close your eyes and just listen to this. This is not good.
Come on, work.
See, this is what I like. I like this bit here.
It's nice. Looks good.
It is.
Better than the CGI. It's a lot better than
Genuinely
CGI.
entertaining.
And what
That's
was
not
this filmed
CGI
on?
though.
No, I said
What
it's
was
better
this
than
being filmed
CGI.
on?
Oh yeah.
No, that's practical.
What was this being filmed on? A home camera,
video or something?
It was a video recorder.
VHS or eight.
What? It's got to be VHS. Is the 90s, right? Like
Yeah.
90s. So what's going on with the tracking?
I don't know. It's
Filmed in the late 90s on technology that looks like it's from 1981.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
by design, Dave.
Yeah, for sure.
See,
And nobody,
Definitely
yeah,
by
like
design.
if
I like
he's
that bit.
if he's
I
in
like that
panic,
bit.
someone in panic and shock doesn't breathe like that. Your autonomic system doesn't do that. Like that's what really shock is for, is to keep you from doing what he's doing. I mean, you sound like that if you ran a marathon or something, maybe.
Well, it was
Yeah.
giving him radiation
Yeah.
poisoning at this point.
Don't
You
press
don't feel
play.
radiation poisoning. It feels like heat.
Don't press play yet. What is down at the center? Is that an alien being right in front of him? Do you guys see that?
That's pareidolia, Rich. Right
Man,
there.
it looks like Mr. Bill from the old Saturday Night Live.
Mr. Bill.
You've probably given him an idea now. He's like, does anybody else notice that there was an alien looking at me in the grass?
Camouflage. It was camouflage because he didn't want to catch
Yeah.
the heat and the other one caught.
So the thing with this story as well, Dave, is that he'd clubbed this alien because it had killed his dog. It ripped the dog in half.
That's right.
So he picked up a stick. He hit the alien with a stick in the head, and then he went home and was thinking, did any of this happen? I'm going to take my video camera to film it just in case. I'm just making it up. And so he actually went back, got the video camera, went out to the body.
He's panicking like he thinks someone would panic in a life or death situation.
So this is the burrito, but I actually think that this was the first thing he made, and so this is the order that it should go in. Is that should be second. So if we're looking at, I think he made this first and then thought, how do I adapt on that? Because I don't think this is finished. I think this is just clay, and it's even the color of clay. Making me hungry.
I know. I want a baked potato.
I just had pizzas every once in a while. Went good with my ridiculous antibiotics I'm on. Although it's good pizza. It's like a local place. Guy makes his own crust. Good ingredients. It's nice. You took the time to put credits in, huh? All right. You took the time to put credits in, but this is the best. Like, where are the stills and high quality, even for them?
There is some high quality images of this thing.
Not in this video. Him breathing like that in this film is very unnerving.
I think I've said this before in your show, Hidden. So you notice how he squeezes the mouth there.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got a piece of soft clay, and you've made a slit in that, and you've hollowed it out inside, and then you've closed it. If you squeeze the sides, it'll do the same thing as the human mouth, and it will open. I think that's what he's doing there.
So he's artsy.
Yeah, he is. I think there's more detail on this thing that's actually being shown. I think there is detail. The camera's just not picking it up. Fucked up hands. That's how many fingers he's going to stick in it.
That's exactly what I was thinking. So with those weird little club hands, he ripped the guy's dog in half. The heck of a
But it had
fish.
something. Didn't he say it had something to do with the band because it was wearing it and it obviously fell off when he hit it in the head.
You
Because
see,
when he ripped it, it also disintegrated it as well at the same time. It was kind of like, Thanos.
Yeah. You see here what he's doing there as well. What he wants to do right there for the audience is he wants to reveal the detail that he's put on. So he's made a flap of skin on the back.
Uh-huh.
Now, who in the right mind would have an alien and then open the flap where it's bleeding from, even if you're wearing gloves, to show people the flap of skin? But he wants to show you that flap because he's quite pleased with it.
I'd be trying to sell it, man.
How many fingers is he gonna stick in there? This soundtrack, man, it's do we have to? I mean, we could like turn the audio down, right?
Yeah, we probably can actually.
Rich's like, no, keep it up. Oh.
No, that's what makes it fun and annoying.
Oh no, he's fingering a flap hole. I don't need his heavy breathing.
Seeing. All right.
So
we know he's
any video.
Yeah, he's sounding and acting like he thinks he's supposed to sound and act.
Is he still
like someone in the
Yeah, that's why I said he's a bad actor.
Oh yeah,
terrible.
Oh.
You just broke its neck.
No, he just turned it and stopped. He pretended to squeeze hard. If he would have squeezed hard, the flesh would have moved on the face.
There we are.
We went quiet.
Yeah, there we go. So that is. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. Can you hear me?
So that's more of a detailed shot of it. You can see there's a lot more detail there on the photographs. So I don't know if he's done this though afterwards and added the detail when he's done the camera shots and done highlights of this piece. But yeah, he's definitely he's an artistic guy. He's a crafty guy.
Yeah.
Just as a shit video camera. I think if he'd have actually done it with a better video camera, he might have actually pulled it off better.
I think maybe that's why he used a shit video camera. He could try and put as much detail as you want into a mannequin, but it's still going to be a mannequin. You know, that's why they have so much video editing in Hollywood. I mean, look at any monster from like 92 and before. You know, it just is what it is.
So this is the third phase of moon UFO report that I found of this.
As his notoriety gained, there was an interview where he's on TV and he puts on the bracelet that he found at the encounter site.
In the forest,
in 1996 when I first encountered the creature or the alien.
The guy did a little scan and he found supposedly a bracelet that has 3 prongs in it that go into your.
I like it supposedly, you know.
I never said supposedly.
Yeah, supposedly.
Wait, no, supposedly. DLY.
That, yeah.
Wait, I didn't say with a V.
Clamps on and it, and it takes over and he says there's pain at first because of the 3 needles going into your arm. And then it goes away and it gets cool. And then, you feel the coolness from inside and it spreads outwards towards your extremities. And he disappears.
They make the decision whether
He looks up at the right time. So stupid. You gotta love it though.
I agree.
Yeah, you gotta give him credit.
It's
not bad.
entertaining. It's way more entertaining than most fakes. I gotta be
video
honest.
For real.
True.
For real.
Glitch, and then he suspected. No, it's
I think Doc believes him, doesn't he?
No,
vanished
no,
from the
he
lot.
says it falls.
Now, up until that point,
Allegedly.
I feel there is a very strong case that there's legitimacy to this. Now, did Dr. Jonathan Reed, did he try to ride the coattails to this little 15 minutes of fame too hard to where he went over the top with this whole disappearing act? Or is it legit?
I think what he's saying there is it was okay until he stuck some alien technology in his arm and disappeared. I think what he's saying there, he went a bit too far, but I think he's being very polite and just being professional and saying, who knows? The guy could have been fucking crazy and just stuck some alien pins in his arm. But yeah, I wanted to quickly show that because I know there was people saying that you boys were going to be all over this and stick up for this. You did it 2 years ago. It's there on the internet, and I did watch it today, and it kind of even Blake and Brent say it's a little bit far-fetched. So, yeah, Dr. J, drop your boy, Dr. Reed. He's a bell end. He's not legit, and he's taking you for a ride. So
we could all be wrong. He could be 100% legit.
I'd still like to talk to him.
100%. The thing is, and if you're listening to this, Dr. Reed,
I believe you.
I have
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
I have respect for people that are being called out that faces the debunkers. I do. As much as people might think that, I've fallen out. I never fell out with Third Phase of Moon at all. I questioned on the stuff. We've always had that kind of back and forth thing going on. But if I think somebody's doing something that I don't agree with, I'll call it out for bullshit. And Dr. Reed, I'm calling you out as bullshit. So if you want to face a critic, then and explain to me why you are legit, and let somebody...
No, you wouldn't care. Even if he proved it, no, you wouldn't, because you told me you don't want to see evidence that Third Phase of Moon didn't hoax anything. And I said, I'll show you the evidence. You said, I'm not interested because I won't believe him anyway. And that's the same thing you'll do with this guy. You won't believe him if Jonathan Reed said, no, it's all real. I'm going to prove it to you. And you'd say, no, I still believe it's a hoax. You won't believe the evidence even if it's put in your face. You're set in your ways. You're a shitty debunker and you know it.
If he opens the,
you also have a red beard. So there.
Yeah.
If he opens the fridge and Freddy's still there,
then what? It's just paper mache anyway.
It depends what he does. You know,
Clay. We don't know.
if it starts moving its fucked up arms around and playing with its flap of skin, I think that's healed now though. But yeah, so yeah, Dave, Freddie eventually came out of the freezer, and he still visits Dr. Reed to this day.
Does he?
Yeah, he smells. He absolutely fucking stinks. Apparently,
Freddie did get fingered in the guy's floor. In that wounded of a flap. So that was a terrible movie too.
Yeah, it was.
It was.
What is interesting though? He does say he smells of sulfur.
Yeah, poo. Right.
Maybe it started to turn. Who knows what he formed it out of? Maybe he was on a budget. he needed some texture.
See,
that's it.
The one thing I would like to know: whatever happened to that armband that made him disappear?
They took it back. Those bastards.
Did they? No, you don't know.
No, I can give you the answer to this. It's a location that Dr. Reed doesn't know about.
Doesn't?
He doesn't know about the location, but he can get the band back. He has said that. He said that on Dr. J's show. He said he doesn't have the band. It's in safe hands. If I want to get it back, I can get it back. Now, Dr. Reed seems like a guy that's got quite thick wrists as well. Now, that alien's wrists, you know, was like a thin penis. It was just like, I can't imagine that. I can't imagine.
Rich is trying to imagine a thin penis.
Just like what?
I think that's an inaccurate
Imagine
description. It seemed like a very average. It'd be a very average piece. It doesn't have to be very thin. There's nothing wrong with that, Ollie. Show's getting so judgmental these days.
I can't imagine that piece of metal going round it, you know. But somebody did address that on Dr. J's show in the comment section and said, Dr. Reed, does the bracelet by any chance change size? Now, if you got somebody on that you want to question like that, maybe phrase the question a little bit differently, because you gave him a great opportunity to say, yes, it does change size. So this guy, he's probably got a plaster for every sore, as my mum would say. Do you guys have plasters in the States? Do you know what a plaster is?
Of course. It's universal.
Yeah. Universal. Yeah, a plaster for every sore. But he's full of shit. He's absolutely full of it. So I don't want to stay too much on Dr. Well, to be fair, the thumbnail is Dr. Reed. But has any of you boys seen any bit of alien footage that you believe to be real? Or you believe could possibly be real?
There's only one.
Which
Skinny
one?
Bob.
Okay.
Skinny Bob. That's the only one that could be real, but isn't. We all know that. But
that's the one that intrigues me the most. And that is simply because he's...
There it is.
Yeah.
Look at the melon on that guy.
See, that's the melon that Dr. Reed should have gone with.
That's some neck pain right there, man. How's he? He ain't got no muscles. How's he turning?
Because it's real.
That's got to be. It's got to be.
But you see that with that one, I do think that there's something. It's probably fake, but I think if it's fake, there's a reason why it's there, because that channel is just so strange. It's eerie to look at, that some guy with 4 videos up, no monetization, no logo, nothing, just Ivan Zero, for whatever he's called.
Guy made it and then died in a tragic car accident. I don't know.
Oh, right. Okay. Wait, when allegedly, how old is that YouTube channel?
I think the Skinny Bob video now is 11 years old.
It is. Yeah, I knew it was older.
Lost their login. Missed all
Yeah.
that revenue.
Oh man.
Because
Big
11
time.
years ago, like, their monetization wasn't a thing.
I mean,
So he was just doing it for giggles, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, and I know Rich, you're gonna just look at me like an idiot for saying this.
Uh-oh.
But the is it Race and Tilly alien?
Ray Santilli, the hoax,
Mhm.
alien autopsy, 250,000. He got paid for it.
I think that's one of the greatest hoax I've ever seen, still to this day. If you look at that thing now, one, if you play it on YouTube, you get into trouble for it.
What?
I don't know why. Because I think it's because it's the autopsy part.
Oh.
Which I don't know why, because you can play other weird shit on YouTube, but you can't show an alien being caught.
Yeah, you can show the president's head getting blown off. But you can't watch a fake autopsy.
That for me is it. And I'll say this now: if anybody goes and watch, I'm going to do a video on it. We'll arrange a live stream on it. I do think there's something about that. There's something that doesn't sit right, because when you debunk something, you show the evidence of how you made it. You show off with it. Now, for the guy to come out and say, yeah, it was all a hoax, but not show any evidence to how they hoaxed it, that doesn't sit right with me. So if somebody said to me, right, so if I saw a video come up with Skinny Bob, and somebody said I made Skinny Bob, it's all fake. I'm Ivan 0135. Okay, I'd say prove it. I want to see how you made it. Show me the puppet, and show me the after effects that you put over the puppet. Show me how you did it. I want to see that. Now, as an artist, if you're creating something for a film or anything like that, you usually keep some sort of evidence of. You even see people that when they make a film, they're filming stuff that's going on in between the film so they can make the documentary after. I can't imagine why these people wouldn't have thought they're going to make one of the biggest hoaxes ever made and not back it up with a documentary to make extra money to show how they did the hoax.
Maybe they never thought it was going to go anywhere and just figured, I'll just put this out there and see what happens.
What, with that sort of production? I beg to differ. I think they knew it was going to go somewhere, but they probably had some connections to get it out there to make it go somewhere. Knew a few people in the business, knew some magazine agencies, some newspaper people connected to newspapers, whatever. I think there was a plan there. And it probably was faked. But why is there no video showing us how they faked it? There's nothing? We've just got somebody that said
nobody ever showed. Yeah, I know, but nobody ever shows a video on how they faked it. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking. You just hear people talk about it afterwards. It's, you see a lot of that in like guilty crime, guilty motive. Like, I'm playing a big prank that I know is bad. I don't want to keep evidence around. As opposed to, I just made the latest rendition of Star Wars and I was on the special effects team. That's what I kept. You know what I mean? So I can sell it in 10 years and pay off all my student loans.
Also, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I believe I saw on a documentary a surgeon comment on what they were doing and said it was that what they were doing was professional.
It was very consistent with reality, they said. Right? The way it bled out.
Yeah, and also the way they were doing, the way they were performing the surgery, the autopsy was.
But you also remember.
I've never seen the documentary, by the way.
Oh, wow.
I only got into UFOs not long ago.
You've never seen the alien? The
only one I've ever seen was that Stan Romanek.
Fuck it, I'm going to bring it
story thing one.
I don't think you can find it. Rich, can you do me a favor? Can you see if you can find it on YouTube for me? I think they've taken it down.
Would you want?
I want the proper alien. I'm going to play it.
You mean the alien autopsy?
Yeah. Sod it.
I'll see if I can find it. I don't. Here we go.
Why does everyone think it's fake, or why is it fake, or what is the tell of it being fake? You just tell by looking at it.
You'll see.
I don't think you can. I honestly don't think. Dave, if I show you a still of it, you'll.
I know you talk about them all the time, and I usually just go along with it and pretend. But
here,
you know that I'd never actually seen it.
I wish Lee was here. This one, Dave.
Here, I have a video I can send you. It says video footage of alien autopsy, but you'll have to skim through it to get to it.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. When they're doing the autopsy, does blood run or gel or
a little bit?
It runs.
It shouldn't, but it does, right? Why would it run on a dead body?
How long? And it'll seep. Blood actually settles when someone dies in whatever position they die in. At least in humans, right? I don't know about aliens, but humans, gravity pulls all the blood and platelet down, and it turns really, really dark. Yeah, but you can poke someone and they'll seep for quite a time. It takes a while for it to like gelatinize.
Ollie, did you want me to play this or?
Yeah. Is it on YouTube?
All right, I got
it. You just scan through it to make sure. Just mute the sound. Just
give me another minute. Just give me a minute.
Is it the full autopsy?
I don't know yet. I'm gonna look. I'm looking right now.
If it's a small screen, we might get away with it.
And so why do you love this so much, Ollie? Why do you love this?
Because to me, and I spoke to Lee about this. I wish Lee was here to back me up because both me and him think that thing looks real.
Yeah,
I've seen a lot of hoax. So Dave, I speak to you quite often.
Yeah, we actually talk regularly. Yeah.
I studied my college and stuff like
that.
I wanted to get into. I wanted to get into special effects. I once played a practical joke on my best mate's mother, and did makeup on my mate to make him look like he'd been beaten up. And I walked him home, and it was just like a really shitty April Fool's on his mum, but she was crying at the door because we did such a good job on it. But I can do makeup and special effects and stuff like that. I could probably fake an alien, but I tell you something, I could not do that. Pretty much anything that I see on YouTube, I think if you gave me the right materials, I'd be able to do it, and I'd be able to make it, and I'd be able to fake it. But I definitely could not do that.
So they say fake it till you make it.
But this is what, from 1995? Is it 1995, Rich?
I think so.
Wife's got
the film's obviously older than 1995, but if it was faked in 1995 at the latest, right?
I think it was 93, but yeah, it's somewhere in there.
I know nothing about.
I don't know.
Film special effects.
Have you got it up, Rich?
Well, what I wanted to do is, because I went through 3 videos to see if they actually show the incisions, and they don't.
I think you can't play them on YouTube. The incisions.
Well, I just looked. That's a shame because they're not even that bad, to be honest. All right, give me 20 seconds here. I just wanted to make sure.
I mean, I'll play them.
I got it all queued up. And if you want to avoid anything like copyright stuff, just put it on the small screen.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Just mute the sound. We don't need sound from it.
Oh, all right. Muted. I'm sharing. Here we go. Oh, yeah, you don't need that. So then we can go there. There you go. That's it. And Watch Mojo, they're not going to do anything. They're good. So that's it. Ray Santilli was paid $250,000 to get this out to the public. And they actually pull off the lens of the eyes.
They show you all that. That whole body gets cut up.
Yeah, you see it all.
The brain gets taken out. See that from those shit.
The 6 fingers.
Yeah, I don't know who this guy is, but just let it run through. It doesn't last long.
It looks like he has to stay 100 yards away from churches and schools.
Oh, that's it? That was it. All right. So real short. Told you, it was hard to find.
Is there nothing on YouTube now of that thing being cut open?
That stinks. I couldn't find it in the 5 minutes I looked. So
That's weird because I don't think I found anything.
I don't think I've ever seen it either on YouTube.
Interesting.
But it's in top 10 unsolved mysteries of all time, I think, right? One of those videos out there. Roger Moore
I don't know.
talking about the alien.
I follow different top 10 lists, it's like some of the greatest crimes
Yeah.
ever committed that were never caught. Yeah. Did you ever hear the how Walmart's back in the day got robbed? It was a massive guy robbed like 30 of them
No.
during the holiday rush. Yeah.
Mm-mm.
I think it was like 20 years ago or more. Definitely, I think 20 years ago. I don't think accurately. I mean, like probably mid 90s. The guy just had like a white van and had a tag that said auditor and wore nice clothes and bring a bag. Said he was the night auditor taking collections for the holiday run. And they're like, no problem. They'd take it out and put it in his van. He'd have him sign a receipt and everything.
Wow.
he had like 15 in a night or something in Texas or whatever. Yeah. And then he just did it again. Like even after they put out a thing, hey, this is our auditing procedure, not out of that. But he was so good at talking. They walk it out to his van. The checks
like
were never, he never ran anyone's checks. He just took the cash.
Just like that true story movie, Catch Me If You Can, the guy who made believe he was a pilot.
Yeah, that's
what's his
amazing.
name?
Just confidence.
Avid
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he wound up working
Abigail.
for the government, showing them how crooks are getting away with, conning people and stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, they made him work on. He was he's still under arrest, but if he worked for him, he could live a normal life. But he's still doing his years. I was like, man, that's not cool.
Yeah, but he got away with so much.
He also has a bunch of security patents.
Oh yeah,
yeah. He is a brilliant man. He's not obviously he's not an average normal Joe.
No.
Yeah.
But it is confidence. That's where the term comes from. Con man.
Yeah.
Confidence man.
There's an old one that they used to warn malls and stuff about con. A lot of malls, especially in the 80s and the 90s, they were built with banks inside, right?
Yeah.
And so they would get everyone there at the bank. And banks always had the night drop off at the end of the night. And if you ever worked at a retail shutting it down, it was you and one other person would walk in cash to the night to wherever. Dude stood there with the receipt book, said that the bank deposit machine was busted and couldn't accept, and he dressed like a security guard. And I think it was just after Thanksgiving, a couple nights, really before Black Friday was a thing, but people still shopped heavy that weekend and cleaned house at a bank in the Bay Area and out in California.
Was Black Friday always been a thing, you guys?
It's always been a thing. For as long as I've been alive.
Oh yeah, but not like where they open at 4 a.m.
Yeah, no, it has. Yeah, it's always been that way. In Arizona, it was where I grew up. It was. We would wait out in the middle of the night in the rain if it rained. And
we would go like Saturdays for the sales and stuff. Like it wasn't here now. Yeah, everything. If nothing closes, nothing's ever shut down. The sale starts 4 p.m. Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? It's absurd. But yeah.
Well, that's the thing. Just go Saturday.
Yeah, or not
it's
at all.
It's the same sale.
Order online.
Right. But it's not the same sale. They're giving away 3 TVs. I'm like, yeah.
Keep them.
They're junk.
Yeah.
So I've only started seeing Black Friday stuff. Would you say, Hidden, it's over the last 4 years in the UK or something like that?
I'm sorry we did that to you.
It's not been long, has it?
You guys never had Black
I don't
Friday?
think. I'm sorry.
Because they don't have Thanksgiving like we do.
No, they wouldn't. Wouldn't be a reason.
But we have it more on the internet. Like is it Cyber Monday or some shit like that? We have.
Oh yeah, we run it. For
that's the Monday after.
Bullshit.
Our Black Fridays. This is how crazy it is because it's all internet driven. It starts at the beginning of November. Early Black Friday deals.
Yeah, and the beginning of September, a little bit. We've got a little bit left over.
See, the Black Friday in America is unique because you go fight a bunch of other people for ridiculous stuff that was made in China, but you do it while stuffed with an unbelievable amount of really rich food. So everybody's having a great time.
Can I add, while you're fighting these people, it's all being videotaped and showed on
It is now.
live leak and stuff like that. So people like me get entertained by you fighting over a TV set.
My wife likes to go and watches like sport. Like let's
Oh,
drive
you-
by.
you-
Let's just drive by. She used to do that. She'd make me drive her
Yeah.
around for years. And
Roll
now
a
it's
fat
like
one in the
kids.
car and watch him. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
I
You
feel
guys
that.
saw-
I feel that.
You
You can
guys have-
tailgate in the parking lot watching it all go on.
What are
You
you gonna
guys
say,
have
Rick?
Christmas in the UK, right?
No, what's that?
No, what's
Never heard
Christmas?
of it? Wow.
What the hell's Christmas, man?
Unfortunately, we do. Yeah, my Christmas tree's up. It's
Yeah, ours is too.
Did you put the lights up too?
He can't afford to run those right now. You know what the utility
that's
bills are
true.
in Europe?
Yeah, you're right.
Are you
We're
kidding
lucky.
me?
We're lucky he's still warm and alive.
True.
Ollie, turn the lights
Oh.
off. It's not worth the car payment.
That's how we brought it home.
It's running
He
on
took the
batteries.
neighbors.
Yeah. Running on batteries he stole from some kid.
Whose
across
house
the
did you
street.
break into?
It's not even his computer right now.
Right. Whose house are you in?
just made a right mess.
It's not even his house.
It's not even his house. Oh, he
He
broke
just-
in somewhere, logged on. He's like,
To
I'm
do
not
a live
paying the
stream.
electric bill for this live.
So,
We don't know
so-
who it was. It goes by Alien Addict, though.
So, do you get what I'm saying though? That somebody put out, so we can't show the autopsy on YouTube. Okay, it's bloody good to watch it. It looks real.
Mhm.
Honestly, I don't know when the last time you watched the full autopsy, Rich, but it looks real.
I've watched it enough to know that it's bullshit. And then when they pull out the
Yeah.
insides of the thing, it just looks like globs of nothing.
It
Nobody.
looks like it looks
It-
like some sort of organs.
It looks like chopped meat. It looks like they pounded it with a hammer and then pulled it out of this thing. It's terrible.
Well, alien
It's
organs
seasoned
are
with
different.
peppers and onions.
But
I'm getting hungry
so-
again.
It did
But
look
so
good.
the guy
they were
that
going to eat
made
it.
so they came forward and said, "Look, we faked it, yeah."
They did come out and say they faked it for
But
$250,000.
they never showed us any. They never showed us the prop.
No. It's
They never showed us
destroyed.
anything.
I don't know what happened to it. Yeah.
I'd take the fall for $250,000.
Back
Maybe
then?
it's the-
Yeah, that's
maybe
like $1
it's
million now.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Maybe
It's
it's
$1
the
million.
same.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the same alien that Reed used.
Refurbished, maybe?
Yeah.
No, they couldn't have been.
So that alien's going to pop up pretty soon in another sighting or another one of these stories.
I don't
Whether
know,
that
it's-
was,
I don't know.
I was going to say whether that's alien or not. I do think. I think that's a body of some.
It looks like a woman.
Yeah.
I didn't see a,
Yeah, I didn't
but
either.
that's that. I don't know, man.
That
If
doesn't
it's
matter.
a
these
woman,
days.
it's like
It is
got bloat from
drowning or something.
like a starved body. Well, a starved body that's started to bloat. Like they get that rounded, disdained belly right there towards the end.
But
Everything
they said
sticks
it
out.
that was not a person. They said that was an actual dummy, just a thing they filled up with
I haven't
meat
seen
parts.
enough.
You got to see it. You got to see it. It's actually
Yeah, I'll
interesting.
check that out.
They said all these things that you're saying, Rich. They said all those things.
Yeah, I know.
But for something to be that good, and for somebody never to show not even just one thing. All I wanted was one thing, one piece of evidence to show that
Well,
this is how we faked it.
I know.
This is a piece of it. This is what we used. There's nothing, not one thing, nothing.
You know who should do this? Third phase of Moon.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
should
I
see if they
agree.
could duplicate it.
Yeah,
I mean, that could go a long way.
Absolutely not. They couldn't do it.
I bet you they think they can.
I bet they can't. Not like that.
More-
I don't
maybe-
think so
but-
either, but they think they probably could. We'd never talked about it yet.
But maybe they could use their contacts and reach out to the guy who says that he did it to see if
Maybe,
he does
yeah.
have any evidence
So
Yeah.
So
that
have
he
you,
did fake it.
have you heard of the UK TV presenters Ant and Dec from the UK?
Who are they?
I never heard of it.
Well, they did the Alien autopsy film. It was a comedy,
Oh, okay.
and
Never
they recreated it. It looks shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that was
Is that
it
on
was-
YouTube somewhere?
I think you can buy the DVD.
Well, I'd like to show it. Yeah.
It went to the cinema. It was.
Oh, okay.
There's probably a trailer. It's called Alien Autopsy.
Did you
Alright.
watch it?
No, I never watched it.
How do you know it's shit then?
Because I saw the bit. I saw clips of the alien.
Okay. I gotcha. Yep. You saw enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're saying that if they did that on TV and it looks like shit, and these guys are doing it, but they did it for $250,000.
So, do you know how much this? Does anybody know how much that actually went for? That still that was last year. It was going up for auction. It went for quite a few. I think it went. Did it go for
Million, I thought.
Did it go for $1 million?
Something way up there. It was ridiculous. Close to $1 million, I thought. I wanted to ask you something before I forget, because it will happen. Didn't he come back out, Ray Santilli, a few years after he said it was faked and said it was actually real and that he was coerced into saying it was faked? That's why it came back out, and that's why Linda Moulton Howe was coming out and saying it's real, and Richard Dolan, it's actually legit. Yeah, it was like 2 years ago.
You know that as I know a lot of people give Linda some stick, but I might agree with her with this one.
I like Linda.
That this whatever this is, I think is possibly a real.
Yeah.
I don't
Cadaver.
think I don't a real body. I'm not saying an alien body,
Right.
but a real body on that table.
I always thought it was a woman who was run over by a boat. Her leg got cut up and she drowned. Then they found her like maybe a day or two later, and that's the body. That's what I always thought it was.
I've just seen DB Cooper. DB Cooper, it's pesos. Don't get too happy.
Pesos.
I'm always happy, mate. Just discovered using suck is harder than I thought on YouTube.
I don't know what that means.
I think when you type in suck into YouTube, I don't know why that would be hard.
Yeah,
But try putting that in, the word suck and hard in together.
Yeah, you'll get something.
Smiles.
Something will definitely be generated. Yeah.
Thank you, mate. Mr. DB Cooper, if anybody can find me the original Alien Autopsy, by all means, put it in the chat. I may risk playing it on a small screen and say it's for educational purposes.
Hit that cough button.
Yeah.
No, not you.
All right. Yeah. If I could find myself that piece of footage, I may play it and just say for educational purposes, because I'm sure this stuff and it's not human for a start, allegedly.
I'm trying to figure out who faked and took credit for the Skinny Bob, and it's not coming up. You said someone faked Skinny Bob and took credit for.
No one's taking credit for. There's
So
people,
no one's taking credit for it.
There's a couple of people who said stuff with Skinny Bob. I've heard rumors, but there's nothing that anybody can back up with Skinny Bob. But the Alien Autopsy has been. That's been
taken credit for.
Supposedly, yeah, debunked. I don't believe it, and I think I don't believe it because I think the video is more sinister than because I think it's a real thing on that table.
Can I ask a question then? What do you know the reasons why he would have said that what part did this guy play? The one that said that he did the video, when he said that he was coerced to say that he was coerced to say that it was fake. Rich.
I didn't know you were talking to me. I was
Sorry.
half listening. I was typing in the chat. What was that?
You know when you said that he went back and said he was coerced to say that it was that he faked it, that in
Yeah.
fact it's real. Then what part did he play in the original footage in the making of this? Was he the cameraman? Was he the?
He was
What
just a
part does he-
broker. He just brokered the deal, from what I understood. He had nothing to do with anything but brokering it, selling it. I think. I don't really know. It's a good question, though.
Okay.
Yeah, you know, it was like one of those things you see on Twitter. You know, when it came out that it was supposed to be legit now, people were, you know, starting to comment, and that's where I saw it. It was just in a Twitter thread somewhere. But people were saying, yeah, he was coerced into saying that.
So
then he came out like 5 years after and said, you know, it's and I remember seeing him coming out on TV and saying that he was coerced. But the first time it was on Twitter.
I honestly think it needs revisiting. You know,
It's not
This-
real though.
no, but there's something odd about it, Rich.
They made it that way on purpose just to fuck with us, man. I'm sorry I swore. Just to mess with us.
What do you mean? You're sorry you swore on Alien
Well,
X?
F words are really, you're not supposed to.
I
trying
usually
not
say,
to.
Yeah, well, it's
trying
an over an 18. Everybody's got pubic hair on this channel.
Tell that to the algorithm's only 8. Okay, so it doesn't understand.
Dave, do you believe? I'm going to say, do you believe in aliens? Do you believe that you've seen anything on, not necessarily on YouTube, but on a platform and you thought that looks like it could be a
Like a bizarre light or something? Yeah, I mean, some of those.
No,
have
I'm
been
not talking about
those
UFOs. I'm talking beings, actual flesh and blood.
Oh, I don't know, man. I don't know.
That's a no.
Yeah,
That is
pretty
definitely
much.
a no.
Yeah.
Hidden,
Nothing pops out as like, wow, that's amazing. That's got to be something. You know, I've seen interesting things, but I couldn't tell you what they were. There was like, it's more of a Bigfoot thing, really. This guy had like wish I could think of the name of it. It was very quick, and he was like a homesteading kind of guy. And he's like walking through his property, and behind him, in the distance, you see a tall, dark figure move tree to tree. And it's like it was caught by other people, and they're like, "Hey, man, did you see that?" Because none of his videos had anything to do with it. But he's also kind of the dude who would definitely do something like that and not say anything, just because he, you know, shits and giggles.
I think I've seen this.
If it was, it was well done.
Like his channel's got nothing to do with Bigfoot whatsoever.
I think I might have sent it to you, actually. Yeah,
I think you did.
Yeah, because that's like the only thing I've ever seen that was really interesting, as far as a flesh and blood thing. But I don't look that hard into those kinds of things.
I mean, I'm like, Bigfoot could be real. Why not?
Yeah, I mean, 100% could be. I'm not saying he's not. What the nature or like we're giving a thing a name that we don't know what it is, right? Like we call him Bigfoot or Sasquatch or whatever. Like, so that have you heard of the Sierra tapes? Sierra Nevada,
I've heard of
in
it,
California.
I couldn't tell you what it is.
Yeah, Moorhead, right? Yeah. So him and his buddies have been hunting out in this place for years, decades. And weird things would happen to them. In fact, this was back in the day when people used to go off into public land in California or any state park and kind of build their own hunting camp. Like more of a fix that they knew how to get there. And if someone else happened to show up, it was, you know, whatever. And they used to go out there and they would encounter strange, tall, hairy beings. They recorded sounds, allegedly footage. And they didn't really share it with the world because allegedly several of them are professionals in the Bay Area, San Francisco area, and they didn't want trouble because they enjoyed going hunting or something like that, which even back in the 80s or 90s would absolutely be true. So recently it's come out, the Missing 411 guy is friends with them, and in his documentary he did, Missing 411 Hunters, David Paulides documentary, they at the end of it they talk about the Sierra tapes and that they see lights in the sky, beings, mists of light, and what appear to be energy, Bigfoot-esque creatures that then would disappear in a flash of light, and then the light in the sky would flitter. It's very interesting, and you can find snippets of their tapes online.
Isn't Paulides doing a new documentary?
UFO one? Yeah, Missing 411 and the UFO connection. That's huge for him to do. Most people didn't even know he's been into UFOs, ufology, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'll be
hugely
honest. I'd never
long
really
time.
looked into that guy until you told me to look into him, and
Yeah.
I watched some of his stuff. I don't read. I've not read the books, but I watched quite a lot of his stuff that you sent me, and he's really respectful with the way he presents it.
Yes.
And doesn't show he gives an inkling that something could have happened to those children. But
That isn't mysterious.
Yeah, but he doesn't say it. He just shows the evidence, and you sounds corny, but you make your own mind up. But that's how it's done. But so he's actually going to put the name UFO on the end of that.
Yeah.
title.
So fun things about him, like, so I've read his books, and they are terrible to read. They are a nightmare. If you've ever read a police report, that's what they're like reading. He gives date, time, all the facts up front. Then he paints the narrative that is given to him by the witnesses, if he can get it directly. If he can't, then by people he trusts. He puts, people's authorities' opinions, but it's very, very police report like. And he definitely leaves it up to you to figure out. He never hints at anything. But one of the interesting things about Dave Paulides is he's been a member of MUFON for a long time, or was, before whatever happened there. And he's been interested in these things for a long time. Back when he was a police detective, long before he got into HR in Silicon Valley, back before he got paid to go do UFO research that was funded by guys in Silicon Valley.
That's probably why he left MUFON, because it brought back days to his police detective and thought, I can't work with these.
So he was with him for a long time. I don't know if he is not anymore. I know his son passed away, and he's, I don't know, kind of. He does a lot of videos, but he doesn't do a lot of in-person stuff anymore. And and his son did his first 2 documentaries. So the fact that he's doing this third one is kind of a really big deal. And I think it's very interesting that he's actually, I'm not going to say that. I don't know what he's actually doing. I just know he's going to probably say there's a UFO connection. He's probably going to give a lot of evidence that backs up lights in the skies, changes, things like that. In the books and notable cases, he gives the events of flashes in the lights in the sky that have been seen, changes in anomalous weather, which is definitely one of the things that lead to a case being outlined as anomalous. And that some of the bodies seem that they've been dropped from a height.
Oh wow! So I knew. So from watching the documentary, you'd seen, and it was hard. I'll be honest with you, it was really hard to watch. Having 2 kids of my own, it's a hard watch. But bodies that were dragged for literally a few miles, and evidence where I can remember the trainers were in perfect condition. They were saying if is it a mountain leopard that you guys say, is it mountain leopards?
Mountain lion.
If that had dragged a kid, and they were doing tests and they were showing just dragging trainers up, and you'd see the scuff marks just from that distance from where it was originally went missing. You'd see that, but to have all the clothing removed as well,
and folded up.
Yes, and that clothing was in good condition. It looked like it had been eaten, but it was actually
folded up. They found pieces of the clothing folded up,
and it wasn't like from like things like insects eating it. And
yes, that had would have done the damage that had been sitting there. Yeah,
we get that all the time over here with fucking moths eating your stuff. Twats.
We have moths too.
Moths.
Moths.
I said mobs.
We have those
got
too.
That too.
Yeah.
Hey, I got to get going.
You got a show tonight, Rich?
Yeah, in 30 minutes. So
what's
I got to eat something. It's on astral projection. Why it's BS, and I don't remember.
Oh, you should invite Richard Northwood on that.
Who?
Rich, Northwood.
Oh, yeah, no, nobody's coming on. And no, I don't know. I may open up the phone lines. And then we're going to talk about, why we are back into the normal ufology. Now we're not getting the mainstream media every day like we were, and Lou's gone, and a lot of things are changing.
Well, they lost their Twitter pump, right?
They did.
Talk about Swayze yet?
I did. Yeah, yesterday.
You didn't. You didn't say Swayze.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did. I brought it up.
I've still got 15 minutes. No, half. Was it end of the show?
I don't
Must have been the end
remember.
of the show.
Yeah, I think it was at the very, very end, like the last 5 minutes.
Okay, I'll let you off.
I don't know. I can't remember my own show, but that's what I'm doing later on. If you want to hang out. Thanks for having me on. Good to see you guys. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
Yep.
We'll talk to you guys later, man.
All right, then, mate.
Enjoy.
Catch you later,
Thanks,
Rich.
everybody.
Bye bye.
Thanks.
See you later, brother.
So Dave, do you know when David Paulides' new documentary's out?
I do not. But I'm.
Is he still in the making?
Alert. Maybe. I don't know.
I would love to get that guy on with that.
Yeah. So I have talked to him. He's easy to talk to. He's difficult to get on.
Yeah, I mean, I can, especially if he had a child passing. I can't imagine what that.
Yeah. So that'd be. I can't. I don't even want to. But yeah. So he's not. He's easy to talk to.
Documentaries are excellent, though. Excellent. Really, really good.
Yeah. His kid did a great job.
I'd never watched the Missing 111. I've not read the books, but it was very well done, and I think it was very tastefully done as well.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, probably very difficult to do.
I can't imagine. Did you see the Hunters, Missing 411 Hunters?
I think I saw about 3 videos you sent me. Is it just
so
2 he's done?
Yeah, just the 2. The Hunters is definitely.
I've seen both of them. Okay.
So if you watch Hunters to the end, that's where the Sierra tapes came in.
Right.
Yeah. But it's interesting. It's an interesting mystery. Through that he also discovered was it the people disappearing in cities and finding up in rivers floating the wrong way. You got to check it out. Yeah, he talks. It's a whole way big thing that I wouldn't do justice to. But it's men, it's males, young males. Like between I think it's like 18 and 25 or 28.
I can't remember if I bought it or I watched it on Amazon.
That one he wouldn't. That one he hasn't done. He's only talked about it. He wrote books about him. I haven't gotten those books yet.
No, the 2 documentaries.
Yeah, Missing 411. I think they're on Amazon. Yeah, for free now, I believe.
Yeah. I've watched them on Amazon. That's what I watched them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I highly recommend if you don't have Amazon, it's probably worth a buy, people. It's a good shout. Very good recommendation from Dave. And if that documentary with UFO on the end of the title, I think that's going to be something completely different.
It'll definitely be different. Yeah, I'm curious how that goes. Again, I think he'll do it like his books, where he's just going to give facts like this was seen then, this is something unidentified, it was on all these radars, and because again he approaches it from a very methodical way, like a homicide detective would or should.
Yeah. Do you still follow UFOs, Dave? Have you pulled kind of away from it now?
Yeah, I've pretty much pulled out in a way. I don't know, man. I figured let it all cool off for a little while till no one cares anymore, right? And then jump back in. But yeah, I like I said, I don't know that much. Like I watched the Stand thing on Netflix. I've seen the what is it, Motions and Light or whatever. I believe that's on.
Like you know about Stan Romanak?
Yeah,
the guy that is in prison right now.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah, he got done for having little people
bad things he shouldn't have that were unclothed and too small
on his computer.
Oh dear.
But some people have defended him and said that government took him out.
So after I watched the show, one of the things I thought there was something really peculiar on the show, and that's when he was talking about like the first time he filmed the little alien in his house. His stepson and his friends were spending the night, and he thought they might be running around or whatever. And he's like, "I'll get the video camera and catch him to blackmail him." And my first thought was, "Wow!" And I'm a dad, right? Like I'm like, that's weird. That's a weird thing to say. You want to
blackmail them.
young boys? You want to try to
You
what?
can you can
Right?
tell
There's no argument for that. Like
Yeah,
that's
no.
strange.
you can tell it's
Yeah.
fake as well.
Yes, absolutely. And so
It's the drama behind it. You know, when he sees
Yeah.
it the window and he's like, he starts running off like a little skippy, like he's
it's-
really
it's bizarre. So the other thing, so like, there was that, right? It's just talking about the thing you shouldn't have. That always struck me as odd. And then like, so I decided, like when I heard that, my first initial thought was, oh yeah, that makes sense. And then I thought, wow.
Allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. And then I thought, wow, I immediately bought into that. I should research more. So then I found out Stan's side, like his defense that it was given. And the detective that busted him was
Go away. Go away.
I don't think that guy was involved at all. The detective that busted him had been and was under investigation for lying under oath, for fraud, for fabricating evidence. Like the guy that busted him is known to be a shitbag. So that was interesting. But so I, you know, who knows? Did they fake it? Because part of the other evidence that when they seized the computer, it was at a repair shop at Dell, back because he had a Dell computer sent it in to Dell to get repaired or something like that.
Mm.
So it wasn't even in his possession, and those people didn't find it on the hard drive because they were going through everything, right? Like it would have popped up. They're not the ones who turned them in. There was allegedly orchestrated through a sting.
That
it was all
documentary's
very
still on
crazy.
Netflix. You know, I don't think they know the guy's a nonce.
Is he though? I mean, he's creepy. He's
in
weird. He's
prison.
definitely a liar.
He's in prison.
He was. Yeah.
So if he got arrested for it, I mean,
Yeah. Well, he got prosecuted. He went to trial and he lost.
It's not alleged.
That's not alleged. But here's the other thing about his story that I thought was interesting. He has 2 points. One, he really did tear his ACL. He has medical evidence that he woke up and all of a sudden his ACL and his knee was repaired, which is a major tendon. When that thing goes out, you have to have reconstructive surgery on your knee, and you have to have it done. The quicker, the better. Like it's not something. So they imaged that. They know it was torn. They know he needed that. There's no mistaking that. And then he went back in walking without his brace, without crutches, nothing. And he's like, I don't need to do that. And they're like, no. And they re-image it and it's fine. That's real.
How did he claim that happened?
It did. He has medical evidence. He claims there was a flash of light in his house. He woke up and was running around the house fine, and he had 5 holes in his leg. And then there was another one.
He had 5 holes in his leg.
Yeah, like little pinholes, like he had been punctured.
Like keyhole surgery.
Something like that, I guess. Yeah, but they would have seen evidence of repair. Like this wasn't over 6 months. This was he got imaged, done. Okay, you're going to go in for surgery, and because it's in America, you're going to go in for surgery next Tuesday, right? So don't move this weekend because that's how fast. Mm-hmm. And then he went in Monday saying, "I don't need it." And they're like, "Listen, if you don't get this repaired, you're going to be a cripple." And he's like, "I'm walking on it. It's fine." They re-image it,
and it was like,
and he even has a recording of the doctor. Like, I guess you need to see. This is a miracle. I guess you see lights more often because this is incredible.
It was fully healed, fully intact,
medically fine, 100%. He has that evidence. And the other evidence that, I don't know if you call it evidence, it is bizarre, that allegedly the side of his house got burned, right? By some beam of light. It's in the documentary. And he, these guys come and start changing out the siding like the next day or the day later. And he calls his landlord, and his landlord freaks out. He's like, I didn't have any siding guys come. Siding guys have a name on the truck. That siding company doesn't exist. That's not a working phone number. That's a fact. Like he has that on camera. So it's weird. Like those 2 things are very weird.
What did he say he thought could have caused the burning on the side of his house?
Don't know. It's on a security camera footage too, where you just see a bright light and then the camera goes out. And where the camera was, looks like it was cooked with like, you guys ever see those flamethrowers they use to cook weeds with on like sidewalks and stuff? Yeah. It looks like somebody torched it, but down, not up. Yeah. He's definitely a weird dude.
I mean,
there were some oddities to his trial, how he was tried, what he was allowed to defend himself on, what the jury couldn't hear.
You saying you think he could have possibly been framed?
I think the Las Vegas shooter's brother, when he was speaking out about his brother, they found
YouTube, Dave, be careful.
Yeah, they found 2 or 3 terabytes of things on his computer he shouldn't have, and it was like a 1994, gateway or something, and he had dial-up internet.
But this guy, now again, I don't mean to.
No.
I don't know. I do sound like an ass, but
allegedly,
I can allegedly an ass, but I can. From what I said, and this is before he got arrested.
Yeah,
that this guy was full of shit.
Probably.
And
I'm not saying he's telling the truth. I'm saying things about him don't make sense.
Yeah, it's the acting though. The acting in the video is just
on the stand thing. Yeah, dude, no, that's 100%. Like he absolutely faked that. I'm not saying he didn't. Absolutely, I think he faked the alien things. I think he's faked other stuff. I think he's bullshitting about stories. What I think is he obviously tore his ACL, and then his ACL wasn't torn.
Do you think that it's possible that some of these people that do these fakes, that have these crazy stories, somebody's paying them to do that?
I have thought about that, man. I have thought about that. I don't know.
Like I know somebody said that they think Bob Lazar was introduced to the job with no credentials, and he was shown fake stuff because they wanted something to leak, and he was the guy to do it. Because I will say this, but so many people say stuff about Bob Lazar, but if you look at that guy, he does look. He looks legit. He looks like he's not bull. Even though there was the thing on Joe Rogan with the headache, which was odd. A
lot of stress, and he's a nerd, so he's not someone who lives a high stress life.
But his story is, the way he tells it, I would say, is the most professional out of.
I think he believes it. You know what? I agree. Like maybe they showed him disinformation. Maybe they showed. I mean, well, here's the thing. So like, top secret information works through compartmentalization. You never know the full project you're working on. You don't know what's going on. You know what you're doing, and that's it. You know what I mean? That would be the thing. Like, and part of that, when they give people, like, if they have to give someone background information, they'll add fabrications in that allow them to root down where it comes from. That's absolutely security protocol. Absolutely. Nobody gets the same story. You know, they just don't. That way they can say, okay, this was lot B that came through. We know to look at these 15 people as opposed to these 100. We can start narrowing things down. But I don't know. I have Bob's story to me has always been compelling, you know. And then when he threw out the whole, they were found in an archaeological dig, which I'd only ever heard, you know, when that finally recently came out a couple years ago or whatever. To me, that was even more compelling. I was like, that maybe that's different.
Yeah, I mean, Lazar is somebody who I'd love to believe. There's just something about it that it's just, well, being aliens and UFOs and all that it's the whole flying saucer thing. You know, because nobody speaks about flying saucers now. Now it's like flying saucers is a thing of the past. It's old tech.
Yeah, I mean,
you don't see flying. Well, you don't see any UFO. You don't see you see UFOs that you see the odd little flash in the sky or whatever. I've seen stuff myself. I've never seen a flying saucer. I've seen lights.
I've seen lights as well. Well, I saw lights and I saw a big black boomerang-esque triangle. And I was with other people who saw it. But again, I live near a government lab. Who knows, man? Who knows what kind of drone they're messing with? Like, absolutely, we'd be in a flight corridor for that. But for the Bob Lazar thing, which I thought was interesting, so the Jeremy Corbell documentary he did on him. At the end of it, when they're like go off and talk in the woods, and then the next day he's raided by the FBI, clearly looking for something.
Yeah, but do you not think? I mean, yeah, he was raided by the FBI. Yeah, fair enough. He was raided by the FBI.
He was raided by the FBI.
He was raided by the FBI.
So
some people said that had something to do with
the material he allegedly taken.
Also, somebody said that it had something to do with a murder.
What murder?
A murder of somebody who, nothing to do with Bob Lazar, but for the company, I can't remember the name of the company. What's his company called, Dave? United Nuclear.
Yeah.
From one of his clients, from United Nuclear, something happened, and that's why he got raided. That's what I heard.
That's a bit heavy.
FBI wouldn't raid him over a murder. They don't do that, man. They don't do that. They don't even get into like disappearances of people like, well, the FBI, because they have TV shows. No, they don't. No, they don't give a shit, man.
Was there an FBI report filed?
Maybe.
Hey, that's a damn good point, that, because we just told that he got raided by the FBI and he never actually did.
They had it on footage. So, I mean, if that was a lie, it'd be quickly, easily debunkable. Like, you could figure out who those people are pretty fast.
Yeah, I'm sure that'd have been debunked by now, but worth checking, debunkers.
Yeah, there you go. Look into that. But, yeah, so I thought that was interesting. And so, like, it depends on what you know about the security field or if you're interested into it. So their story goes, and let's just say it's true, right? Just for argument's sake, let's say it's true. They went off in the woods. They put their phones on airplane mode instead of leaving them, which I know for a fact for a long time people still thought their phones were secure. They're not. And they had a conversation. And in that conversation, the next day, they were allegedly quoted like by the FBI, things they had said. And they believe that conversation is why that took place the next day. So if they're on that level of watch, if he's on that level of watch and security, that the NSA has allowed the FBI to backdoor his phone all the time, that's kind of high on the list, man. That's kind of high on the list. You actually got someone going over your data? Like, really? Not just getting logged and flagged, but I mean, because you would imagine even in that conversation, how many keywords that are they looking for to be flagged? Because before then, people had talked about element 1, whatever that was, right? All the time they talked about the aerogel.
Element 115, Dave.
Is it 115?
It's 115, yeah.
Okay, so
Dave,
yeah.
it's where is it? It's 115. Element. There you go.
Oh, there it is. I can fly. Yeah, buy all these merch.
Get yourself some merch, people. Element 115.
If you're still watching,
Christmas.
Christmas. It's great for everybody. Yeah, like that puts you pretty high up on the radar. You know what I mean? That amount of reaction time, because he lives out in the middle of nowhere, Michigan. All right, so they're going to come out of Detroit, and Detroit has real shit to deal with. You know what I mean? That office is actually busy. Yeah, man, that's pretty interesting.
You know, this is definitely not off topic because Bob Lazar apparently thought he saw something through a window that was a little thing, but he believes now it was two government guys with a dummy the size of the alien through the doorway. That's what he said.
I could believe that. I
Really?
could believe either of those. Dude, the government, how they operate is at least the U.S. government. I'm sure all governments are mind-boggling. The ideas they have for things. You got to understand, most of the people who rise to the top and are in some kind of authority or command position failed their way to the top. Because if they were good at their job in the government, they keep you where you are because they need someone to keep getting things done. Yeah. So I thoroughly believe that somebody thought this will be a great idea. Let's do a practical effect. Name it Operation.
Oh, okay. Let's speak. So hypothetically speaking,
Rain Cloud.
In your opinion, what's the reason? How to put this in a logical way? I've only had 3 BS people, so it's not.
You need to have that fourth, bro.
Yeah,
the fourth will help clear your mind.
Why would an agency employ somebody to show them some fake technology that kind of does know a thing about physics, because you can't take that
Well,
away
who
from
said the
guy.
technology's fake?
Yeah, but okay, I'm asking you. So why would they do it? Why would they try and make a guy like Bob believe what he worked on was alien? Possibly wasn't alien, and it was a front, only for him to go out and tell this story. Why would they do that?
I don't think it was a front just for him. Like they're not going to do that, man. When I was talking earlier is when they add things to like a story. So you get it if he's working in a compartmentalized fashion. I'm sure he was, right? He's working on, what was it, the anti-gravity or gravity amplifiers or distortion, or
he was looking at how
something
possibly was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So that
I
was
think
his.
that was his thing. That was his. It
Yeah,
wasn't
so-
nothing to do with the ashtray or anything like that.
Yeah. So what's weird is like his information would be limited from like potentially function of the aircraft, piloting of the aircraft, wiring, fuel. Well, no, he would have fuel if it was part of that. Yeah. If he's
That was the element 115.
Yeah. Exactly.
Well,
That's how compartment. But so imagine this: everyone in that room with him, right? Each person had their own debrief. Like, this is what you're working on. This is your classification. This is the punishment. Sign X, sign Y, sign this is what we're going to do to you. All your security, all your agreements, all your non-disclosures, how your security briefing, all that stuff's going to go. But when they give you the debrief, depending on the level, like if you're really working on something that's serious, there's parts of the information that aren't relevant to you that will be wrong. And it will only be wrong in this column. That way, if you tell the story, they can say it's one of these guys.
But I can also see a way why they would also show these men this thing and whisper in the ear that this is alien tech.
Yeah.
And that reason being is that any other things that are kind of secretive that they're working on, they got this guy to go out and say, yes, this is the alien tech.
Maybe.
And it puts it in this kind of mythical area. Is that the right word?
I mean, yeah. I mean, it could. I don't know.
So
when I think about it, they were back engineering it though. So if it was already like it was alleged. So again, it's saying he's telling the truth. It's real technology that already exists. Like they have, or they found, or they've acquired, and they're back engineering it. And it's above what he understands or anyone else around him understands.
Yeah.
It wouldn't make sense for you would invent a whole new level of technology to hide other technology that, like the Skunk Works guys are pretty good at keeping their mouth shut. Most of those people who work at those places are very good. Security guys are extremely good.
A bullet to the head keeps you kind of, in check.
Man, I got to tell you, that'd be the easy way. Bullet to the head is faster and funner than dealing with the attorneys.
Some of these guys get turned up with shots to the chest, double tapped, and it's been ruled off as suicide.
Yeah, those are bankers or politicians involved with the Clintons. Yeah.
Oh no.
There's only one guy that can take a bullet from the Men in Black, and he's got a big mustache, so he can take it.
Look at that thing.
He's got a porn stash, people.
Glory. Look at that caterpillar.
Yeah.
Just that oozes testosterone. Right
you know that that 70s music. Oh man, I'm stoned. I can't even. Never mind.
Bound chicka wow wow.
He's sniffing you there, Dave. I need to.
He's a nuzzler. Yeah,
I need to stop. I need to just delete him from my.
No, he's awesome, man. He's every bit as good as. Who's the other guy in North Carolina who leads like the $15,000 Let's Stare at the Sky Together sessions? Greer. That's classic.
There you go.
Yeah.
Gotta love the guy.
And then you had one of the cousins as Klingon, right? God.
There you go.
Those are good. I love them, man.
There you go. Be careful. Be careful, fella.
Yeah.
No, that's Blake's favorite Klingon, but he loves it. Every time I put it, it'll be like messaging me going, laugh out loud. I love that.
Allegedly.
Is that what he does?
No. if I would love to say to Greer though, dear Doctor Greer, on my show you've become a little bit of a mascot. Where how would I explain it?
He would not find it funny.
I have taken your head and put it in Homer Simpson's body, and it's just so, for me. I mean, I know I created it, but so I'm going to say this, but I think it's just a perfect match. It goes like
it's really good, man. It's like
cheese and crackers, you know.
Yes. I mean, well, the Blake and the Klingon thing is wherever cousin that is. That's good.
That has a story behind it, though. That actually that just wasn't a random thing. That was because no. Blake and Brent, they interviewed a guy that they didn't realize who was telling them that he was an alien. Now, I'm a Trekkie. I am a Trekkie. No, seriously. I am building slowly but surely the Star Trek Enterprise for my little boy.
That's awesome.
And I could tell straight away that this guy was telling them he was explaining that a race from Star Trek, and he's explaining so this it's on my channel. I took the entire video and I put it on my channel, and I can't remember where it is. It's somewhere down the line. It's like Third Phase of Moon interviews Star Trek fan. Yeah. And like he's telling this guy is telling
awesome.
Blake and Brent about his species being a trill, which is from Deep Space Nine Star Trek. But you can tell that this guy that's telling them this is a proper Trekkie. You know, he knows
the details. He knows this shit down.
Absolutely fucking everything.
Yeah.
And it sounds terrific if you don't know Star Trek. Now, I know Star Trek, and I shouldn't admit to that, but I do. And I should admit to it. God damn it. Yeah, I'm a Trekkie and I'm proud.
You can identify as anything you want these days.
Love Star Trek.
Yeah, man. That's your truth. You got to live your truth.
Love it. Maybe not the new stuff, but I love a bit of, and definitely not that new Captain Picard. It's terrible.
I'm a Babylon 5 guy.
I like a bit of Babylon 5. I've been watching that again recently.
I've watched it many times. It's very good.
Yeah, especially those when they brought in the ships that were alive.
Oh yeah, the Vorlons in the shadows.
Yeah.
Their practical effects and like their suits and aliens was phenomenal. It was so good.
But it looks terrible now, but for the time,
oh yeah,
amazing.
I don't know. Even now, it still looks.
Oh, you mean the
practical?
Sorry, the CGI was shit.
Oh, the CGI was shit then. Yeah, the MacGyver explosion from the '80s in space.
Yeah, but the practical stuff was fantastic. Yeah. But no, they interviewed a guy that was a Trekkie, and a big one at that. This guy gets it. This guy, I put this video out taking the piss and saying, "Look, you've interviewed a Star Trek fan," and I get an email. I think 2 weeks later, going, "Hi, I'm the guy that they interviewed," and I think he's my first ever interview on Alien Addict. The guy that pranked called Third Face of Moon, and he
explains so much about your channel, man. That being the foundation.
Great guy. He got me into sriracha. I'd never tried it before.
Yeah,
it's good, spicy. But yeah, Third Phase of Moon did interview a Star Trek fanatic, and it's bloody brilliant. And they, videos like that though, they should leave up and be proud of it because
gold.
It's brilliant. If somebody came on my show and was from Star Trek, I would probably let it run for about at least half an hour.
A full hour. Let them commit. That way you got a whole episode, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's like, and he's probably not gonna watch this, but Ronnie Dawson, I think the guy is full of shit. Am I gonna get him back on to talk about having sex with aliens? Absolutely.
Oh, the alien fucker. Yeah.
Yeah, the alien fucker. He does seem convinced though. He's a lovely guy though. He's a nice guy. You
Well,
know,
he's getting all that aggression out on them aliens. He's very.
I had a beer with him
soothed.
after the show. It was
Yeah.
down to earth guy that just slept with an alien that was half cat,
Totally normal. Totally.
and
normal.
I believe he did it behind his wife's back.
Well, you get that strange pussy. That's what the whole thing's a cover for. He got chlamydia and had to explain that shit away, and it was an alien cat woman.
I think that's if you're gonna have an affair, that's the only way you can get away with it.
Alien cat woman?
If you have sex with an alien, yeah, it's like,
Come on.
I had sex with an alien last night.
His wife must have said, "Look, out of all the things you could have done, you're somebody from another planet."
I swear.
And you thought about having that's the first thing that came in your mind is, here's an alien, I'm gonna have sex with it. Come on.
I need to send you the Ronnie Dawson interview, Hidden. You got to see it.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
Anyway,
well, is there more to it? Like they went on a few days.
There's quite a bit to it. Richie's show's just started. We've gone 2 hours, people. Hidden. What you got coming up next?
I got some paranormal footage that was caught here in England at the Oxford Castle and Prison. Yeah.
Oh, great!
You heard of it?
You got a paranormal guy here down here. So when's that coming out?
Hopefully I'll have it up tomorrow night. I should have had it up tonight, but
is it? Well, you're gonna say it's good, but is it good?
I like it. I actually do like it. I do like it.
You put some good stuff out, mate, and I think it'll be it's on my turf, so I'm definitely looking forward to that. Like anything that's in England, because I'm a typical Brit.
I'm like that myself. Whenever something good and it's in England, I'm like, yeah.
There we go. So yeah, guys, Hidden is in the description below. Go check him out. Also, we do have BlackStar Paranormal in the description below. Dave, anything going on with that channel, or is it just gonna stay stagnant for?
I don't know. Going to Peru. So
is still people heading on over though?
Yep.
Brilliant.
No, I'm going to Peru. That's what BlackStar Paranormal is doing.
Oh,
this summer. Well, Peru and Bolivia.
You've got to upload some stuff, even if it's just some great footage to.
Oh yeah, so I'm taking a couple because I got some like high-end the real nice GoPros with the big cards and power packs ran from a cord, and they'll do like 18 hours. So I'll have a bunch of footage. It's gonna be amazing.
Have you got anybody that's going to get you into anywhere that you might not normally be able to get into?
See, man, this is how I can tell you never broke the law.
I was put in a prison cell for 9 hours at 15
Oh, you're
years
hard.
9 hours at 15 years old for aiding and abetting, and you know what? I didn't do a thing because I didn't even know that my best mate was nicking from a shop. But that's a long story. Who's a bastard?
Keep that belt tight.
No, I have never
survived.
That was the only other time I've been arrested.
So have you got any places pinned in the map that you want to check out?
I actually have pretty unique access to some cool places I'll tell you about afterwards. And we've already been in and we actually already have footage of. But we're just kind of
Well, listen.
Man. We're like, we're going to do a thing, and then we don't do the thing.
Well, give me a shout. I like to have a look, see what's going down.
Yeah. I mean, at some point it'll get posted.
Well,
allegedly.
Allegedly.
That's the thing. You did have a channel. You had Modern Militia. That got big. It got taken out. Gone.
We got doing pretty good, and then we didn't anymore. And then everybody removed us. Yeah.
But you're going to go down the paranormal route, which is how I met you at some point. But you said when the time's right. So
Yeah, man, it's we're
There's
not
no
like,
rush.
yeah, we're just kind of cruising. We're doing our thing. We want to do some like night vision because we have me and these particular group of guys. We have some interesting technology that
This
we
is
have
your
access
hobby
to.
and not a way to make money. It's just this is what
Yes, it's for
you
shits and giggles. Yeah,
this
yeah,
is what
it's
you
for
do
fun.
on normally your Friday nights.
Yeah, normally my Friday nights I'm busy, but I'm on quarantine tonight because I have some kind of antibiotic resistant strep throat.
Yeah, this is so weird that you've got strep throat and I've got strep throat.
It's
That is
brutal.
odd.
So I've already
Odd.
been through a bunch of antibiotics. Now they got me on these new ones, and
Well, there's a
that's
new.
why I was eating earlier. I thought
Have
I
you
killed the picture.
have you seen and you heard it here before? We all get locked up for it in over the next 2 years. But there's a new strain in Australia of strep throat that they're warning everybody about, and it's it's so hard to get rid of with antibiotics, and people keep taking them. And I've not taken anything, but yeah.
Oh no, I'm on my second round. Yeah, I'm on my second round of antibiotics.
It's not good. I wouldn't wish strep throat on anybody. But
Yeah,
anyway,
I
people,
think, yeah.
go check Rich out. He's live right now. So I'm going to end the show. Good night. God bless. Mind the bugs don't bite. You've all been amazing. And I will see you next week, next Friday. Good night. It's my birthday next Friday. 42.
God, you're old.
I know. And sexy.
Oh, definitely.